Good evening. I'm privileged and honored to have been asked to discuss the first chapter of Tehillim as part of a project which we hope and pray will be of assistance to Sarah Rivka Bas Mindel, our beloved Sarah Lamdrach, for her refuah, we hope and pray B'karov. First chapter of Tehillim ostensibly deals with the right chevra, the right society, the proper camaraderie that we should have, and that alerts a Jew committed to the values of Torah to make sure to search for a group that are righteous, and certainly not for a group that is wicked. The very first pasuk seems to indicate the direction of the chapter. Fortunate is the man who has not walked in the counsel of the wicked, and the ways of the sinful he has not stood, and does not sit with the scornful. And the concluding verse indicates that the Almighty Himself is aware of this distinction, and separates the tzaddikim from rishaim in the higher echelons of his world, of the shamayim, and consequently we are called upon to follow suit. Nevertheless, I believe there's another message in this chapter, and that is the fact that David HaMelech suddenly deals with the study of Torah. That the individual should study Torah day and night, and study it, and that should be his or her entire desire. That is not a compelling concept that needs to be introduced in this chapter. If the only theme is the one of proper camaraderie, and moreover, the metaphor, the image of the tree by streams of water in verse 3, which produces fruit in its right season, this verse doesn't necessarily have a clear connection to the primary motif of the chapter, unless we say that indeed there is an equally important and vital message in Aleph, in Tehillim Aleph. We normally assume that Tehillim is a profoundly emotional experience, exclusively emotional. We assume that in a moment of crisis we pour our hearts into the verses of Tehillim, that the gates of the Almighty seem to be sealed, and we want to break open those gates with our tears, as the Gemara indicates that when with tears those gates do open, and Tehillim is the inspiration for such a dramatic experience. I believe that David HaMelech wants us to know that it is equally important to understand that Tehillim is also an intellectual experience, that it is a part of the Torah. Once it becomes part of Kisvei HaKodesh, of the canon, then we are required to study it with depth the way we would study any other part of Halacha. Indeed, the Talmud tells us that David HaMelech requested from the Almighty that the recitation of Tehillim should be on par with the study of Negoim v'Ohalos, with the most complex and detailed areas of Halacha. Clearly, David HaMelech wanted us to engage Tehillim as a text which needs to be explored on all the various levels with which we explore other areas of Chumash or of Halacha. And the reason is as follows. This is what I would like to propose. That Tehillim is a survivor's manual. David HaMelech, as a warrior, as a king, as a prophet, as a singer, as a composer, as a shepherd, and as a halachic decisor who had lines of people every morning in front of his palace before the doors were open, waiting to ask him questions in halacha. This enormous breadth and depth of human experience in which he was engaged, he composed a sefer to help us address those issues in our lives, and address those issues with our logic and with our intellect, and to study very deeply how to do so that when we are faced with a crisis and we can't find a book of Tehillim, maybe it's not available, maybe we don't remember the verses, maybe even the smartphone is not available to be able to recite the Tehillim. Nevertheless, the teachings and the messages and the concepts will surface. And those concepts will be anchors, spiritual anchors in our lives. Those which we so often, so critically need. Anchors which will bring us back from the brink of insanity to be able to step away and to reflect and to use the messages of David HaMelech through his multiple dimensional experiences, to use those lessons which he learned through his tribulations and transmit it to all of us until this very day. And so what I am proposing is, as I said, that this book is a survivor's manual, and the lessons need to be studied in depth. We have to engage them, and after using them, utilizing them, we still find that we haven't fully succeeded. Then we turn to the Almighty, and then we can say, now we need you. Now we need to partner with you. We started the process. We walked the path of David HaMelech, and now, Ribbon Shalom, as you came through for David, so too we are in need of your guidance, and we are in the need of your interpretations of these psukim. Let us hope and pray that this Tehillim will indeed provide us with the answers that we seek, the spiritual answers that we seek in the issues that we face in our lives. And may the Ribbon Shalom look upon our study of Tehillim to be an advocacy for all Cholim, and particularly for Sarah Lamb Dretch. Admeya V'Ezra. Thank you.